time won't be counted but may still be charged. Go on, get yourself a perfect night in for months. Good luck.
Thank you and good luck with that. Now, after pop band Steps announced that they were splitting up on Boxing Day, that was 8 years ago, lead singer Claire Richards, well, she took it all very badly. She suffered with depression. She turned to secret binge eating for comfort, and before she knew it, her slender 8-stone figure had more than doubled to 16.5 stone. She really had hit rock bottom, she says.
But that was until January last year. With her wedding day in sight and 11 months to get into shape, Claire faced her biggest challenge: to shed 6 stone to fit into that dress.
Well, Claire managed to squeeze herself into the dresses. The samples are all size 12 and Claire's a size 16.
OK, I'm going to just pull you right in, Claire. There we go. Yep. Reduce it to your waist by about 2 inches.
Oh, this one is a little bit small, so it's going to be a case of trying to imagine what it's really going to look like.
It's a more fitted style anyway.
Yeah.
And the samples are size 12, so we're nearly there.
Not too badly so far.
Oh. Well, that's all part of a programme we're going to see when, Claire?
Tuesday.
On BBC Three.
BBC Three, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's called My Big Fat Wedding.
Yes. Thankfully it wasn't, but yeah, My Big Fat Wedding.
How scary was it having the cameras around you, watching the highs and lows of all of this?
Do you know what? It wasn't too bad, actually. It was quite easy for me because I had already lost a little bit before we started filming as well, so I was already starting to feel better about myself, so it wasn't as if they were kind of there right from the start with me being, you know, exercising when I hadn't done it for years, and so it was all right. It was quite comfortable for me, really.
Now, my observation on you, you do have a problem, and your problem is that you are an attractive bigger girl as well as an attractive smaller girl, so it actually leaves you. Do you know why sometimes if you're big and you actually think, oh, ghastly, you've got to do something about it, but you actually look very well. So what was your motivation?
The motivation was the wedding, really, but I didn't feel like that when I was big. I just felt awful most of the time, and not myself. And said before, people didn't recognise me. Even Faye's dad didn't recognise me once, and being out and about, even being with other band members, they would ask for their autograph and not mine because they just didn't.
So this is you. How much did you weigh there?
But that's a very brave thing to do. I just want to talk about this picture, to see that, to do that.
That was...
What do you feel about looking at that?
Oh, it's just awful. I can't even believe it's me. It doesn't look like me, I don't think. Even my face changed. Yeah, I completely lost kind of bone structure and how I looked.
So the Claire we saw in Steps, what were you, a size 8, 10?
Yeah,
very
something
slim,
like that, I
very
think.
slight.
Was that an unnatural Claire?
Yes, is that naturally you?
No.
Naturally, what size?
I think I'm naturally kind of a 10, 12.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a typical pear shape, so I've always had a bit of a bum, and I've always been quite small up here, so... But I was asked to lose weight at the audition for the band, and I think I was about 10 stone then. I was 19 as well, so that was it then. From then on, I was always on a diet and always wanting to lose weight.
How difficult must have been when you were working so hard? You're travelling, you're doing concerts, your dance routines were legendary. How were you surviving and not eating properly? And
I don't think I realised just how active we were. So for what I was eating, the amount of exercise we were doing, even if it was kind of rehearsing the dance routine a few times a day, that was enough to keep you going.
Doing 3 aerobics classes or something,
yeah,
isn't it?
it was, you know, and obviously when we were on tour, 2-hour show, sometimes twice a day, because we used to do matinees as well. So when the band stopped, I don't think I realised that I was going to start to gain weight, because I just thought, oh, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't really exercise anyway.
So when it did stop, you say it was almost quite a relief. You thought, great, I can just kind of relax a bit. And so what did you do? Just...
Initially, I probably didn't do anything that much different apart from not working, so not actually being active. So, but then gradually, obviously, the more you eat, the more you want to eat, and the more I...
Did you miss showbiz?
Initially, no, because I get really embarrassed when people come up to me and ask me if I'm Claire from Steps. I'm a bit like, oh, yeah.
But was it worse when they didn't ask you because they didn't recognise you?
Only when I was with the others, I think.
Yeah.
Because then I felt a little bit like, oh, I wasn't that important. It kind of, then it was another something to add to, you know, the way I felt about myself and the whole food issue, I think. But, you know, I've always been, even in the band, the food that I ate wasn't necessarily, you know, it wasn't salad. You know, I would have a Happy Meal for lunch and then that's all I would eat all day.
Yes.
So it was never a case of me kind of just living on carrots and things. I always...
So that's how you put the weight on. What everybody wants to know is how did you get it off?
Just, it's all common sense and it's all just, you know, eating sensible food and moving, exercising. And that's really, there's no rocket science to it. I think we all know that.
Easy. We all, I mean, Eamon's been,
It's the mind battle, I find. It's mind over matter
tough.
and association. And...
For me, food is a big comfort for me, and it always has been. And I think the minute I feel sad or upset or stressed or angry, it's food that I go for.
If you lived with me, we'd be the size of 2 houses. We couldn't. That's me down to a T. I want to show something, a seminal moment here. We're going to see you from the programme on BBC Three, and this is you burning clothes, getting rid of clothes. Talk us through this. Now, why are you doing this?
I think it was just something, it was a bit kind of... bit of a poignant moment, I suppose, because it felt like that was getting rid of the old Claire, the kind of Claire that I didn't like, the Claire that, you know, was miserable most of the time and upset every time we had to go out because I had nothing to wear. And so I know it's very wasteful, but...
No, but I think it's very poignant, and I understand why you do that.
It means there's no going back, doesn't it?
But exactly,
I think what was so lovely is that your now husband, he proposed to you when you say you were at your biggest, and he was quite happy with how you were, he wanted to marry you, but it was you that then said, do you know what, I don't want to be that big on my wedding day, and that kind of gave you the motivation.
I forgot, we've got to get married too.
So yeah, get cracking.
I know, I'm obsessed.
Crack on.
With weddings. Celebrity wedding planner, if you need any help.
Yeah, we might just do that.
Yeah.
So what about now? Is it every day, one day at a time, or how do you maintain it? Where are you at now? How would you describe
I am
where you're at now?
maintaining. I'm kind of at the stage where I'm trying to figure out how to kind of not go back to the way I was, but also not to be on a diet all the time.
Yeah.
It's. I think if you've got a
Eamon
problem with
refuses
food,
to use the word diet.
I don't like it.
well, you can't really. I think that's half the battle, is really convincing yourself that you're not on a diet and it's just, you know, a lifestyle change, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment. It's just
and are you happier?
Yes, I am much happier. I know, you know, I would have liked to have said that I was happy bigger, but I wasn't, because it didn't feel like myself. You know, as much as I wasn't naturally 8 stone, I wasn't naturally 16.5 stone either. You know, it's that
well, it's an amazing journey, and it's BBC Three next Tuesday night. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much for telling us. Claire says she's happy where you are. All of you people, Kerry from Edinburgh, we were talking about jobs and people who love them. Kerry from Edinburgh says, I love my job. I work full-time at a care home. Julie says she has the best job in the world. She runs a paranormal team. Jill from Surrey, I am cabin crew for a top airline and I love my job. And Sylvia from West Yorkshire says, I run cosmetic parties. There you go. Bye-bye. See you Monday. Tuesday.